trying to figure out what the fuck is going on without understanding what the fuck is going on. That's how I see this whole course, because it was literally like that. Like, first we had an assignment trying to figure out the fucking hell. The same people as always, don't worry about that. Yeah, well, that's easy to say. I have a list. I save the information of one object on the list, or technically a save file on the list. And then on that list, I have one save file, and one save file. In like, if I didn't do with the textures and the materials, the images upon the object, I could actually write out both of the objects. But in the sense of how they are technically one. So now somehow, by using these buffers, which is all like just storing information, it somehow told me, find out where it stops and set the material from there by using a theoretical drawing, literally like a list. That was just like, these are the two meshes, the information of the meshes, and then continue on. So yeah, like I am kind of annoyed by all the theory because it doesn't help. We're doing coding, and coding is like a language. Like, it's not even it is a language. It's a sort of language, and you cannot theoretically say how English works, because you can only learn English by learning English. You cannot learn English by learning, this is theoretically what English is. That's my mindset. My mind never works with theories, because for me, theories doesn't work until you actually understand how to do it. We don't understand how to do it. So yeah, like, I have so much issues with that right now. And I'm like getting so much more frustrated each bloody time it happens. But yeah, without getting more headache, like, I'm not joking. Each time I'm trying to do that, I just get a headache. So without actually continuing with that, I'm gonna stop. Because if I don't, I will get a headache. I'm gonna try something. Okay, so. Okay. I can hear an echo. I don't know why I can hear an echo. Ah, there we go. You can still hear my voice mod, right? Yeah, you can still hear my voice mod. Because apparently I hear myself on voice mod, but it is on the main screen because yeah, no problem at all. But yeah, like, for many people, theory is a good thing because it more or less explains how things work. But how are you gonna know how the things are gonna work when you don't know the layout of it? Okay, so I'm gonna try and figure out what the fuck is going on here again. Shit, at least I pressed. There were 3 balloons throwing all the time. All 3 of them. 10 pounds, Jesus. Yeah, I will do that. But I know about pressing enter, but yeah, it's... I just feel like that's how it works. Like, at least, like, one teacher told me the theory of how to move things, which in the scene as you saw. And like, I tried to do that. Didn't help. I tried to figure out how to do it through the internet. Didn't help. Then I did the other teacher, because we have 3 teachers. At least he had tried to explain the best on how it actually worked, even the mathematics of it. That helped me, at least. I could at least try and figure out what the problem was with the mathematics, because for some reason my camera always went to the middle. Doesn't matter which point I was actually pointing at. But this just telling me, okay, you have the buffer, create an index buffer, tell that index buffer to find that buffer's information using the information you have there. And like, I never saved that information. Like those faces, I never saved that information. So how am I gonna tell a buffer to find that information when I just threw it out the window, because I don't need that information? For me, mostly teaching with theory to someone is good, but only if you do them within a particular author, and then they would sort of understand and sort of be able to understand it further by themselves. If you mean like doing theory and then shows what it means, then yes. But unfortunately, these people doesn't really do that. It's literally just, yeah, this is how shadow works. You see, this is the light, this is the object, this is a shadow. This is how the theory works. Now go get together and try to figure out how the math works. How the fuck am I supposed to know how the math works if the theory says that somehow it's gonna work like that? So yeah, it's just, sometimes I just feel like I am absolutely gonna fucking fail this. Like I'm not even gonna lie, because doing schoolwork, like before, like college, apparently it's a different thing, because I don't feel like it's much of a school anymore, because in school you thought things, you went to one class, you went to another class. This is like, if you fail one class, there might be a big, very, very big chance that you cannot continue the classes, because you need to at least be passing the further one. And I just feel like I'm gonna absolutely fail this one. Because I'm not good at programming. I'm trying to say that many times, and I just feel like, yeah, but it's just to try and try to test, and like, yeah, I really don't give a shit, because I technically didn't choose this to do the programming. I checked how much programming was supposed to be, and it was like apparently a very little amount. But apparently it is enough amount to more or less just bloody make someone cry, to be honest. Like, it's absolutely bullshit, I think. So yeah, I kind of hate it right now, to be honest. Okay, so the only thing I can remember here is that, yeah, a green balloon. I'm gonna try and do this. So yeah, I'm gonna drop that, because fuck that. I'm gonna talk with a teacher tomorrow and see if another teacher can actually give me some goddamn directions on what the fuck it means, rather than just here hope it goes well. Ugh. Okay. I don't know if I can do voices right now. I cannot drop what sort of voices I gave them. Ugh. English is very annoying. The language of my countrymen is far superior. Ragos, it's a very wrong to lie. Lie? A flying balloon never explode. For the same reason the planets never explode. It is logic. I'm pretty certain they just both burst up in flames, actually. That's like all that's happening. Please tell me that doesn't mean logical. If you insult me, I insult all of Bohemia. But die. Unless the army come and shoot all of you stupid balloons out of this sky. All of them. And like... Okay, so... Okay, so the only thing I know that I think I managed to get by all of this is that it was a green balloon that exploded. I kind of want to just check my items. Oh, wait. Wait, that's percent. Oh, fucking hell. Like, I think this is what it is. I think this is like the balloon thing. Yeah, that's nah. That's not what happened. I think this is like the green thing that happened. I'm pretty certain I already tried that. The cage, it fell from the sky like a stone and crashed into this crystal tower. Also, I don't know how much voices I will be able to do. I have a blister on my tongue, and it's like the second annoying thing here today. I didn't get a good look inside the cage, but no one went near it after it crashed into the tower. I already pressed everyone as well, I think. Or did I? I know that, I believe that is a new thing. So I'm gonna talk with this. Did you see that actually happen? No, in reality I did not. I saw after it hit the tower. There was a grand confusion around the stage. I ran to see what had happened. I was terrorized by the idea that one of my balloons had crashed. When I looked up in the sky, all my precious balloons were still there. I saw it too. I saw it though. I saw it slam into the tower. After all, I am a detective now. And tell us what you saw. Okay. Burst up in flames though. Like, my thought is that what if someone used a crossbow to shoot something that exploded? But I wouldn't explain the... It wouldn't explain the singe. Oh, whoops, wrong button. Was it you who gave the order to keep people away? Yeah? Use your head though. Who could it have been? I was up in a balloon, weren't I? Right. So cause I weren't available. He was the boss had to leg it over there. He was getting shoved and kicked all by the panicking spectators as he tried to seal off the scene. He was a real sight to behold, I can tell you. Amazing. Ow. So anyway, I couldn't see the cage well cause of all the smoke. I didn't really want to see it, to be honest. Yeah, like, what if something very weird had happened there? Oh yeah. Also, I realized something. She doesn't have the same, like, dirt around her eyes anymore because she's a real detective now. I'm gonna see if I don't know if you can see that, but like, if you see under her eyes, she doesn't have, like, the same dirt thing. I do wonder... Okay, here is my thought. What if whatever happened on here was false? That thing didn't just explode, so it flew all the way over here? What if a false cage was on a balloon hidden somewhere? Someone shot that down, and that's why someone heard an explosion behind and dropped the cage on the crystal tower. Like, because the crossbow was somewhere down here, and they explained it had fallen down like here. So I guess it must have been behind here somewhere. It's an incident, a terrible incident. Incident terrible. I'm only grateful my balloons were not damaged. There's a bang from the stage, and then next second another bang in the sky beside us. It was not the skies that exploded, it was a green balloon that was next to R at the time. Okay, so I am gonna press this, but but I'm pretty certain I've done this already.
Objection.
Okay. So that's not it. I'm gonna try here, because it said that none of the balloons were damaged. So what is this?
Objection.
Okay, there we go. I had the wrong one just. Mr. Loon. In Balloon. Wait, what is actually his name? Hold on. fuck is his name? It must have been something with Bal. Ah, Baltasar Loon. Balloon. Bohemian Boy, because his name is absolutely fucking ridiculous. And Esmeralda Tuspels. Wait, have you seen Tuspel, Gani? I don't remember if you had. Mr. Loon, in your testimony, you said that the 3 of the balloons you had operating at the time were undamaged. Z, that is correct. If they had been caught in the explosiones, it could have been terrible. I wonder if you might know what this is. Ah, I think it might be. Ah, Z. It's part of a balloon. A bird piece of the fabric of the envelope. Sorry. The envelope. Pardon. That is the large round part of the balloon which becomes filled with hot air. So, what do you mean, the balloon part? Is that what you're trying to say? It is made from very thick fabric lined with rubber. You do not want to rip it when you're in the sky. Use as a thought. This piece of cloth was found near the experimentation stage. In other words, as Master Gott testified, a green balloon did indeed explode that day. So I guess I must have like found that part first and then comment about it. Because else it wouldn't make sense. If the balloons in the sky above the experimentation stage belongs to you, Miss Loon, then your statement that they're all undamaged clearly contradicts the evidence. I'm not even gonna do the voices because I don't know who is speaking right now.
Objection.
The instantaneous kinesis did occur, but after the explosion on the stage, the point of materialization shifted to a location occupied by a balloon, causing the balloon to explode. Yes, eminently plausible. An unfortunate traffic accident, as it were, but it changed nothing about the pertinent facts. These I cannot accept. Why not, Mr. Loon? You are suggesting that I am a liar. The person died in a balloon incident. There is no need to get fired up, Mr. Lu. The victim was the sole fatality that day. That's right, and I prove it. Balthazar Loon is not a liar. There was no such balloon in the sky. It is non-possible. I don't know if I do his voice good, but because of how both him and the young kid is speaking, it's not the very easiest to find a voice for them. This court has more important matters to discuss than the number of balloons that were operating that day.
Objection.
But we can't ignore the fact that nobody appears to have known anything about this other balloon. Oh yeah, that would be something. That's gonna be stuck in my memory. My lord. The defense called for further testimony from Mr. Loon. I occur. This is clearly more to the truth than meets the eye. It is imperative that we clear up the issue of the phantom balloon, I feel. Witness, you will give supplementary testimony about the balloon you were operating at the exhibition. I feel like don't do his voice good any longer for some reason. I don't know. Grazie, my lord. Okay. As I said, Balthazar Loon is no liar. Every balloon I had in the sky landed safely. After 3 of my balloons were carrying passengers, if they fell to the ground in an esplosione was a catastrophe. You can't get away from the fact that a burnt up piece of old cloth was found in the sink, can ya? The couple at the yard reckon it was probably for some debris thrown from the explosion on the stage. This is stupido ragazzo is mistaken. My balloon have the red and the blue zigzag stripes anyway. So whose balloon is this then? So your assertion is that the balloon this child saw was not the one belonging to you? Si, exactamente. If you even saw a balloon in the first place. I do not like the sound of it. It is very bad for the business. I have a good mind to sue the land of Bohemia. Ooh, Jesus. If you attack us, we will fight back. It will be war, all out war. Also, you have a kid, you have a camera. Don't you have a photo or something and show us? Yeah, this war is settled with candy and balloons. But that doesn't change the fact that the testimony and evidence are contradictory here. If the defense is unable to find fault with a witness's statement. Oh, it is 5 o'clock. The court must consider them the truth. Think long and hard on that, my learned friend. The situation has clearly changed now. I have to get to the bottom of what happened here. Counsel, you may now cross-examine the witness. Bloody hell, yeah. Well, no one said you were lying, but if there is a fourth balloon, that means someone must have owned it. You could just say, have forgotten one, maybe. Signor. I kinda don't like when I do that, because I want to say signor, but it's supposed to be a little wavy thing over the N to be signor. Because an N with a dat is just a J, more or less, a J sound. I might not notice if I were given 100 lentis and one was missing. But we are talking about 3 enormous balloons. Do you believe I can make a mistake about something so grand and expensive? I took the liberty of having Inspector Gregson check this gentleman's warehouse. I have the report here. It clearly says a total of 3 balloons. It would appear that no mistake has been made then. Wait, are you blaming it on her now? What the fuck is going on? You're just blaming everyone. It would be quite a catastrophe if they fell to the ground for any reason, I think. On that note, Mr. Loon, tell me, what is that keeps these balloons in the sky? Are you an idiot? Sorry. That is like asking, why does a candle burn bright? It burns bright because it burns bright. And the balloon flies because it flies with airless. Huh. There are 2 types of flying balloons. Hot air balloons and gas balloons. The hot air balloons work on the principle of hot air being less dense than cold air. Whereas gas balloons derive their lift by using a gas that is lighter than air. I see. And my balloons are filled with a magic gas, I believe. Hydrogen. Lighter than air, but highly explosive. Good lord. I do not permit smoking of cigarettes in any of my balloons. The magic gas did not like fire. It just said that. Even as a small spark of static electricity could cause the entire balloon to explode. What's the matter with you, senor? Oh, I'll tell you, my balloons are perfectly safe. They have to be, or I cannot eat. None of my balloons exploded that day. I am completely sure. But if you still say that what's happened, you must show me the proof. Like, this is it's a fourth balloon. It's someone else's balloon. I was surprised to find a piece of fabric still at the scene, actually. Didn't you search the area surrounding the stage for clues? Nah, I'm not too picky. I'm not into picking up stuff on the ground, man. Always works out way better diving into people's pockets instead. Alright. So much for the new career path. Mind you, the boss was on his hands and knees picking up all kinds of rubbish from the floor. Thing is though, the cage went missing, went crashing into the crystal tower, didn't it? Where most investigating was going on. Even so, I would have to thought someone on Scotland Yard would have gathered up as evidence. God, listen to you. You stumble across a bit of balloon and suddenly you're the best investigator in the world. Pardon? Well, you ain't got a badge, have you? Like this one? I could arrest you with this if I want to. That wouldn't surprise me if she wanted to. It actually did. Come to think of it, there was a talk about some scorching on the ground at the meeting we had and about the investigation. Yeah, I know about that. There was considerable damage to the stage and surrounding area that wasn't there. Yeah, some of the cops what were watching the experiment were caught in the blast and injured. Good job the whole contraption didn't keel over, eh? I hadn't considered that. It seems that there was a great panic after the incident occurred. Nevertheless, the police shouldn't have missed a torn piece of the envelope from a balloon. Inspector Gregson can expect repercussions. Let me swipe in all his fish and chips, eh? Yeah, that would probably make him cry like a little baby. None of this matters. That scrap balloon envelope means nothing, and yet. You mean the color is wrong? Si, signor. I do not have any green balloons in my warehouse. And yet a piece of green cloth was found at the scene, and it unmistakably from a balloon. Well, I do not know about that, how that can be. For the sake of argument, let's say that the green balloon did explode above the stage. You couldn't therefore conclude that it happened on the day in question. Why not? There have been recreational balloon flights over Hyde Park. Operating from before the Great Exhibition. One could have exploded on the some earlier date. Unfortunate, as I'm sure you'd agree. But you believe it might have been from some earlier balloon accident that predates the exhibition? Sí, exactamente. As the Senora says, it is not from one of my balloons. Clearly, this little he's pissed off, hello. Also, he has a camera. Something tells me he's gonna just bring up the camera and show it. It's Mr. Wilhelm Gottsreid Sigmund Ormstein. I was on tip of my tongue. Yeah, something is very wrong. I know it, what I saw. There was a green balloon there. I swear it. I swear all over Bohemia. You can speak as much bad language as you like, but it changed nothing. If you don't have evidence, ragazzo, then I must tell your parents to punish you, eh? Perhaps we'll let the judge decide when it comes to punishment. Evidence? What is this evidence? To give a simple example, young man. A photograph, for instance, something tangible proof of what you claim. Well, why didn't you say so sooner? I have the photograph here. Good gracious! Yeah, I did see the camera around his neck just recently. I had not been up in a balloon for a little while, so I was very excited. I took a lot of photographs of the Crystal Tower as a Bohemian exhibit, as the streets of London, the hot eel cellar, the balloon. Hot eel cellar. Wait, hot eel? Yeah. I hope he's not like mistaking the name for something else. Who the hell has been selling hot eels? Really, you took one. But all I wanted was to ride in a balloon. I was not interested in boring experiments. Never mind that. Can you show us that photograph? Of course, and then you will see. You will see is that I am not lying. Is that I really did see a green balloon. Well, I see you're too shocked to speak. Yes, I think shocked is indeed a word, young man. Yeah, and also, if he's gonna say it's not his balloon at the same time, stuff like that, it actually is not. I don't know why I actually came up with that plan. It actually is not, because it doesn't have the zigzag pattern, but it is a green balloon. Yeah, perhaps you cannot see that it was a green balloon from this photograph, but that is not my fault. Is that the fault of the stupid person who made the Z camera? Oh, holy crap. Very well, the court will accept this photograph as evidence. Just please don't cry anymore. It is not my fault, it's the fault of the person who made the camera. Well, never mind, I'm sure you have plenty of wonderful sepia memories to take home with you. In any case, when exactly did you take that photograph? Well, it was on the day of the big explosion. You don't say. When I pressed the shutter release, there was this very loud bang. The hot wind rushed over my face. This photograph was taken a split second before the explosion occurred. Well, if you ask me, this black and white photograph changed nothing. I could not give her the flying fig. Lovely language. As I thought, Miss Luna's testimony just doesn't quite add up. The Bohemia boy claims to have seen another balloon. Yeah, we know that now. I'm gonna check my court record. I want to check the image a bit close up. So, because here is the... What is that also? Oh, there is something there. Is that the arrow? Someone just shot a fucking flaming arrow straight up in this balloon. I think that's what's happening. That's like this fucking thing here. I think that's an arrow. Holy fuck. Okay. Because he is there. There is a lot of smoke. I do not know why. Okay. Yes, we just need to somehow do this now. Still, this ecosystem must tell us something, I'm sure. Yeah, there is a balloon, but whose balloon? Otherwise, my balloon were carrying passengers. If they fell to the ground, then it would be catastrophe. I'm gonna do that because it did comment on people, but there's no people here. Unfortunately, the photograph Master Got took can tell us the color of the balloon. Yo, Eren! Welcome! Ah, no problem at all. No problem at all. Welcome and have a safe trip. Yeah, no problem at all. And also, hi, Turtle Girl. Welcome. Sorry, I missed some stuff here because I've been so up into this right now. But yeah, welcome, Turtle Girl, as well. We have just managed to figure out the balloon thing here. What? It shows that the pictured balloon wasn't carrying any passengers. My goodness, you're right. But surely all the balloons would have been carrying passengers. It would be no sense in otherwise. Sorry, I was just looking away on the chat and just heard explosions like... I could talk too much or literally... Yeah, don't worry. Take your ride. Don't worry. Don't worry at all. Don't throw up. See, there is for pleasure. For seeing the view and the other such, I did not have time to read. Which tells us that the picture balloon isn't one of them. So when the incident occurred that day, there was a fourth balloon in the skies above the experimentation stage. The mysterious green balloon. I don't... I do nothing, yet. I can only tell you one thing. If this balloon was not carrying passengers, then it was not one of mine. Ooh. This balloon is pulsating. There are illegal tradesmen everywhere. You care to look. Clearly, one such entrepreneur decided to capitalize on the opportunity presented by the Great Exhibition. And managed to operate balloon flights on Mr. Loon's patch without him realizing. See, the competition trying to steal my profit. I did not notice because all of the experimental that went wrong on the stage. This fourth balloon exploded at the very same moment as Mr. Asman's was beamed from the stage below. Right, so that scraps that fell on the ground after all, and left them scorch marks. They didn't come from the stage at all. It was bits from the balloon raining down. Because no one saw it and it didn't get no attention. So mysterious fourth balloon carrying no passengers suddenly floating over the experimentation stage. This photograph shows us nothing more. A stray balloon carrying no one and operated by some rogue trader. Clearly it has nothing to do with the case. Its relevance does elude me, I must say. The court has seen sufficient evidence and heard ample testimony already. The prosecution calls for this trial to be concluded. It looks like people doesn't give a shit about what it says. Really? Have we really got to the truth yet? No, I can't let this opportunity slip away. The jurors' minds are made up and not in our favor. What else can this photograph tell us? Is there nothing more we can learn from this? There is more! There is that fucking arrow thing. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, wait. Please don't give your decisions yet. The photograph from Mr. Master Gots may well be hiding one more vital clue. A what? A vital clue. We're well past the point of mere possibilities. It is time for the definitives now, so tell the court. What exactly does this alleged clue of the... We can reasonably assume that the picture balloon was destroyed in the searing heat of the explosion. Yeah, that is right, yeah. It was not my fault. Evidently. Because the birdcage from the kinetic machine materialized in the sky, where it had been flying. And the balloon being filled with flammable hydrogen, instantly and explosively ignited. No, that's not what happened. What? It would appear that this photograph requires closer examination. Counsel the defense, you will highlight the location of the alleged clue in the photograph for the court. Of course, my lord. Yeah. At first I thought it was just a glance of something. Then I thought it was like a rocket. But I just remembered that we actually have a crossbow in our midst, in our evidence. So it actually is here. Wait, I'm gonna see if it actually marks something. I just want to see if it like tells us if there's anything specific. No. So I'm gonna do this. The timing of this photograph can only be described as miraculous. If you look, you'll notice there's a big, bright white line that appears to point directly at the balloon. Most likely the ray of light caused incidentally on the film. I'm afraid I can see nothing of the sort. If you look with a magnifying glass, my lord, it becomes clear what the nature of this bright line really is. Goodness, what is that? Undeniably some flash of light, yes. Oh golly. Do you think it might be lightning? But it couldn't have been a finer day. I believe we might have been looking at a fire. A bolt of fire heading straight for the balloon. Like an arrow. Indeed, even to my aging eyes, it would appear to be a flame of some sort. My word, are you suggesting this flame struck the hydrogen gas that filled the balloon? Objection. That is absurd. The balloon would have been 16 feet above the ground at the time. No sorry, I just saw the chat. I was like, couldn't stop there. No flame could possibly have reached such a height. I like how jurors 3 just have infinite amounts of playing cards. Well, that's how magicians work, didn't you know that? They can even thought out cards. There's a particular piece of evidence found at the scene reveals how exactly that it happened. What evidence? If such evidence exists, counsel, then for goodness sake, present it, man. Which evidence explains this mysterious streak of flame that appeared to be heading in the direction of the balloon? Take that! And this is where our crossbow comes in. This was found hidden at the foot of a small ornament tree near the scene. Lord, it's a crossbow! An arrow dipped in oil and set alight could have been shot from this weapon. Magicians are just people who can found an infinite item exploit in a video game. Perhaps so as well. Or you suggest that crossbow was used to deliberately... Lightning, you're right. The streak of light in the photo looks just like an arrow, doesn't it? Then, the explosion of the balloon, it was... very likely the result of a flaming arrow from this crossbow igniting the hydrogen gas inside it. I'm gonna check something. How much more things do we have? We don't have that much evidence. I do wonder if you're gonna go there and look around again. Order! Order! Counsel, this is extraordinary suspicious. Something. I don't know. It's just us. If the aim was to cause the balloon to explode, the shooter could have used a gun, of course. However, there's an obvious reason why that would have been out of the question. The noise of the discharge, of course. That is right. By using crossbow, the projectile will be fired at the balloon silently. Yeah, well, yeah, if someone I shoot a gun off an exhibition ground, it would cause a real panic. But with a big explosion, there was a very big panic on the way, no? I don't like this. I should be pleased to have found a plausible new explanation for all this, but something feels wrong.
Objection!
Do you understand the implications of what you're saying, my Nipponese friend? If a flaming arrow did indeed hit the balloon, then obviously it would have exploded. And if the birdcage appeared from the cloud of smoke that ensued... What? Oh, wait a minute. What are you really saying here? I don't get it. Was the birdcage beam up in the sky after all, or what? My goodness me! Who knows? And that was the sinking feeling I was about. I think that there is a good chance that the birdcage was actually concealed inside the balloon all along. Did I just hear that correctly, Council? Holy fuck. Let's assume, as I said, that the birdcage was hidden inside the green balloon from the start. On the stage when the experiment started, the birdcage in the instantaneous kinesis machine disappeared in a cloud of smoke. At that moment, the flaming arrow was fired from the ground and causing the green balloon to explode, drawing the attention of the spectators to the sky above their heads. From behind the smoke, the hidden birdcage then appeared to fall down, crashing into the crystal tower. I think you all agree it's entirely plausible. That what I just described is the real truth behind the miraculous experiment carried out that day. This is... Good grief. I do wonder if this means we're able to actually investigate that machine then. Because it's taken care of because it is science. But if it is not science, that means it can be trash, which means we can actually check it. This is ludicrous. What you have described is no science experiment. It is child's play. And contemptible display of stage magic. Both Mr. Sholmes and Iris said the experiment was a scientific impossibility. In which case, this is the only way to explain what happened that day. And also, welcome humble viewer to the stream I'm holding here in our little kingdom in the corner of Twitch. Do grab yourself some snacks and something to drink, and I do hope you enjoy the show. And this is... And in any case, the victim's body was found inside the birdcage in the crystal tower. If the instantaneous kinesis did not take place, how do you explain that? If I might put, that explains why the magician is here as well. If I might put in another word, as a man of magic myself, such appearance discrepancies can easily be explained by some simple deception. Juror number 3. All it would need is a doppelganger. Someone who looks very similar to the victim, Mr. Asman. And having this other man appear on the stage front shown as a body double. Yes, of course. So, in fact, I believe that explains who stole the wax doll. Mr. Asman must have been inside the birdcage that was concealed inside the balloon right from the start.
Objection.
That balloon would have been filled with hydrogen. And the thing hidden inside it would have been scattered to the 4 winds when it exploded. No one would have embarked on such a risky venture. Not necessarily. The explosive force of the balloon gas would very much depend on upon the mixture ratio. Juror number 4. I do love the jurors here. They're not really on my side, but they explain in their way what's actually going on here, which I do like. Flying balloons are rarely filled with pure hydrogen, but a mixture of other gases such as helium as well. Helium on its own doesn't explode, but by controlling the gas mixture ratio, the explosive force can be altered. The mixture ratio. Well, obviously, the victim's body would have suffered some burns. That would be unavoidable. And also, speaking of burns, I'm gonna check. Whoops, wrong one. I don't see much burns, but he's still stabbed. So obviously, the victim's body, yeah. But not such an extent as to render this whole obscene character impossible. I believe he hates the jurors right now. So everything that happened can be explained logically and scientifically. The explosion that engulfed the stage at that start of the experiment was no accident. It was all part of an elaborate deception to make an appearance that instantaneous kinesis had occurred. Well, goodness me. And if to accept this is what happened, it means that the victim, Mr. Asman, was never presented on the public experimentation stage to begin with. In short, he couldn't have been killed by the defendant who was on stage in full view the entire time. That's actually true. Like, sure, we just butchered his experiment, but as long as he's like, do not get to like hanged for it, then sure. Let me guess, it's Mr. Brainman. Of course it is, because he does not allow shit like this. Mr. Naruto, I appreciate your efforts, thank you. I'm trying to remember his voice. I think it was like squeaky or something. But you can't stop now. Just keep your mouth shut, please. Sorry. What's all this about, Mr. Hairbrain? I, Albert Hairbrain, hereby confess that it was me who stabbed Mr. Odious Aspen. Yes, it was me, with my faithful friend and partner, Andrew Screwdriver. What is it he doesn't want us to know? Because it doesn't explain what's happening. It just says he stabbed him. Defendant, explain this sudden confession. Professor Hairbrain, what are you talking about? It was I've said all along. I must protect my hypothesis. My precious machine. Oh, good God. You stand here and claim that it was all a trick, an elaborate prank, but where's your proof? No, you had to examine the machine if you wanted to prove it. But then it would be all over. My beautiful hypothesis will be laid bare. I mean, indigeny of it. It's clear that you drew the plans for experiment, but you didn't actually build it. It's quite conceivable that you were duped, Professor. Yes. I'll cooperate. I'll do whatever you say. I swear it. So please. What does this even mean to you? Like, first of all, if he actually stabbed the guy, he would be charged with the worst sentence, which I believe at this point is death. Which means he would not get any money because he cannot any longer get it. So why do you... What exactly do you earn by this? By saying that you did it and save your hypothesis. What exactly does he save? Pray forgiveness at this discurrency of filling my hollow chalice at this crucial juncture. Here's to my learned Nipponese friend. What? And this upcoming attempt to clarify the defense position in the light of the accused's confession. Do you intend to formally assert that the experiment was nothing more than a conjuring trick? Because at the moment you do, the special dispensation for the Scientific Equipment Act that protects Professor invention will be ceased to apply. The prosecution will then demand a rigorous examination of the machine involvement in the order to establish the truth. However, if you acknowledge that the machine is genuine and instrumental in the victim's murder, and the chance of investigating will be crushed, and the confidentiality of the professor's hypothesis preserved. You're literally more or less asking, do you want to save the professor or do you want to save the machine? Of course I'm gonna lay down the bloody act. The act doesn't mean shit right now. Yeah, it's a bit true. Because the trust thing we are talking about is trusting to be able to set him free. But now he's asking us to betray that trust to be true with him. Oh, sorry. Weird hiccup. Or has all knowledge of English escaped your confused Nipponese mind? Just do it. It's a conjuring trick. No, I can't say it. My client's places faith in me. Can't just let them down. Ooh. I don't remember whose this is. What must I give up on? This is not a question you have to ask yourself here. It is what I can protect. Wait, are you actually here or are you a hallucination? Hold on, I'm just gonna touch your face. I think you're real. I don't know, because it's a game, so I cannot really do it, actually. Hello, Miss Naruto. It's been a too long. So, when did you get in there? But... oh, she's real. She's real. Ah, my first was at a takedown in 6 months. There will be time to talk later, Miss Naruto. For now, we must concentrate on the task at hand. Which is working out not what I've been given up on, but what I can protect. Yeah, either protect the machine or protect the person. Professor Hairbrain. Yes. Yesterday you told me that science is the pursuit of truth. Well, my job is to pursue the truth too. Yes, of course. And personally, I believe that you didn't stab Miss Asman. I think you come to realize something yourself too, haven't you? That your experiment and the machine you built with the victim are questionable. The truth behind that is what we must both pursue now. I do wonder what would happen if someone just actually just catch that bottle. Like, yeah, now it's mine. I'm hoarding it. What a twist. In that other place. Yeah, they're Japan. Japan. What? And that's for you. Albert. You can't ignore this any longer. Having heard my learned friend's assertion, don't you have something to say? But Barak! Lord 6? Gosh, I've never heard him speak that way before. I do wonder when she came here. She must have like gone on the boat directly after just like sending the letter or something. In truth, there is one thing. There's something I remembered that's of relevance. What? On the day it happened, just before I began the experiment, I saw a man near the stage. A man holding that crossbow. I beg your pardon. Professor? Did the man have any distinguishing feature? What did he look like? Tall. Taller than me, and thin. Thinner than me. With straight hair. Straighter and whiter than mine. Yeah. Let me see. One less lens than me. Two. A monocle. Rather stylish black monocle. But one thing in particular will help positively identify the man. You see, I know him very well. After all, he's the engineer who built my invention. What? He built the machine. That's right. Miss Adman introduced him to me a year ago. He's a man by the name of... Enoch Dreber. Okay, so both the mage and the science guy freaked out by that. Why? Does this name mean something? Members of jury seems flustered. Well, name any scientist wishes to hear. That's not a name any scientist wishes to hear. The man's an abomination. Not a name any conjurer wishes to hear either. Who on earth is he? I'm afraid this isn't the first tale of this nature that I've heard in science circles in the connection with that name. There's talk about that flamboyant experiment that turned out to be nothing but a stage trickery in the end. Obviously, the rascal is even after government's riches grant money. When magicians are in need of money, I've heard of them resorting to these underhand tactics. Some acquaintances of mine with experience of such things have mentioned Enoch Dreberen's names before. The man is an engineer and a magician, yes. We're dealing with an unparalleled confidence trickster here. That Enoch Dreber for you. It might be. I don't know. Perhaps, perhaps not. Because technically Moriarty, in like many sense, used in like, is like a very well-known man, but he isn't known as a trickster because he like fools people in such a way that no one knows about it really. So true that my invention, my great machine, was just a grand illusion. Considering what we've just heard about Mr. Dreber's character, I'm sorry to say that sounds increasingly likely. Even though one else believed it, I wanted to. I wanted to believe that the machine would function exactly as my hypothesis predicted. Which is why you were so opposed to being investigated, I presume. I knew that if the machine was examined in detail, its construction would give away my hypothesis. Obviously, I didn't want that to happen. But at the same time, I knew that if it was found to be nothing more than a trick, than a work of deception, that everything I've been working towards, all my research, all my dreams, my whole life would be over. I was terrified at the prospect. So you really had no idea then, did you? About the true nature of the machine that was built. And the true nature of Mr. Dreber. When I questioned anything, I didn't want to question it. It's entirely possible that Mr. Asman and Mr. Dreber were working together to use you as a means of fraudulently acquiring the research grant money. When I announced my invention to the crowd that day, it was the finest moment of my career. I pulled all the levers and turned all the dials in exactly the way Mr. Drubber had described. When the smoke suddenly started billowing out, I panicked. I didn't know what was happening. I really don't know how the whole illusion was made to work. I don't know anything anymore. Let me confirm one final point with you, Professor. Do you now consent to the prosecution submitting the necessary paperwork to release your invention from the protection afforded by the Special Dispensation for the Scientific Equipment Act? Yes, please go ahead. I'm very sorry. So, did we win? Because that's the thing. This is all against this guy, actually murdered a guy. But what I get this from now is that he told us exactly what happened, and even the prosecutor agrees right now. It will appear that we shall have to suspend proceedings for the remainder of the day now. Lord Van Six. My lord. The court has nearly been made aware of another party whose involvement in this matter is critical. Yes, Mr. Dreb. Gather information about the man. If possible, I should like him to serve with a subpoena. With pleasure, my lord. And now, counsel for the defense. Yes, my lord. Oh. When we reconvene, I shall be looking for one thing and one thing alone from you. Evidence. That the defendant is innocent of the crime for which he presently stands accused. Okay, so it's not safe, it's literally just, we don't really have any sort of concluded thing, so let's just find some more stuff. Good, in any case, this course is adjourned until tomorrow morning. Woo! Investigation! So what happened is that the Dispensation Act is now taken away, which means we can investigate the machine, and that there is a third-party member of all this involved in everything that's going on. But because of all this weird stuff happening about him not being the one stabbing the guy, or the whole balloon thing and all that, they don't have enough evidence that he is the one that murdered the person, nor is there any evidence against him not murdering, well, against him not murdering or whatever. So right now, because there's no conclusive evidence for anyone of the party right now, we are getting one more day to check upon stuff. Mr. Naruto. Yes? I'm sorry. I was wrong. You were right. I tricked you. You trust me. I dragged you into my mess. Holy fuck. How did it ever come to this? I'm so sorry. Did you really have no idea, Professor? About what Mr. Drebber was really up to, I mean? About what he was really constructing? Naturally. That machine was the embodiment of my hypothesis. Of all my hopes and dreams. I had completely faith in it. Alright, in that case I won't say anymore. Now sadly the murder accusation against you still stands. So we must do as much investigation as we can before the trial resumes tomorrow. Well, thank you for doing so much for me. Hello there. I'm sorry for arriving late this morning, Miss Naruto. Yeah, it's 6.24. I've done like half. Almost. You missed with 3 seconds. Arrival late. Did you receive my postcard? I wanted to let you know when I'd arrive. Postcard? What postcard? I hid it from you, Runa. It would be a surprise. Oh, god damn it, Iris. I hid it from like... Oh, for fuck's sake. Well, did it work? I was surprised, alright, especially when she threw me to the ground. Oh dear, I'm sorry. I was just so happy to see you again that it sort of slipped out. How the fuck does a throw just slip out? Maybe we could stick to more traditional display of emotions in the future. Susie's train was late in London, Victoria, this morning, you see. Well, we made a coachman really whip the horse hard, so it didn't miss the whole train. The whole trial. Poor horses! I was watching from the gallery for a while, but in the end, I'm afraid I couldn't contain myself. Well, I'm glad you didn't. Having you on my side in court gives me the strength I need to win. So I'm delighted to see you back in London. Oh, you're so kind, Miss Naruto. I'm delighted to be here. I hope I can continue to be of service to you. Of course, so what's brought you back? Did Professor Miko Tobacco not protest? Let's save all the conversation for when we're back at home, shall we? We can technically not do that because I only have 1 day to investigate some shit. You know, maybe one of my special blends over for the special occasion. Oh, Iris, how wonderful. I can't wait. The Sutter Sons were back in London. It's hard to describe how happy that made me feel at the time, but despite my elation, our tale was about to take another extraordinary turn. There we go. I just check it like 5 more and I am gonna more or less be forced to play Elden Ring. It's not even a thought up like goal I have up there with the play Elden Ring thing. It's just a goal I wanted to create because I could create that such a goal right now. Speaking of, I got 1 there. I'm just gonna check something because I'm like need to know. Yeah, I still need 7 more for the other following goals. Elden Ring? Nah, I haven't gotten it yet even. Like, it's a game I probably would play in the future or something. But just for fun, I actually created that goal of a subscription goal to play Elden Ring. So if people want me to play Elden Ring, especially really wants me to, then I made a subscription goal. So you have a donation goal, a subscription goal, and some follower goals. So I have not played it whatsoever. I've seen people play it. I would say that's a game I don't really care much about the story. So, like, that's 3 out of 8 subscriptions. I have 3 subscribers. I have Miss Valkyrie, who I am pretty certain did, like, a low one. But yeah, she was the first one to actually subscribe to me because she wanted to be the first and she wanted to be, like, the founder badge. When I was playing Myst, I have Shavra Khan come through here. And I did say that I only had been, affiliated for a week. So it literally said, like, you shouldn't have said that. And he then mentioned that he's collecting founder badges. So he literally subscribed as well. So those were 2 subscribers. Then I thought of just doing for fun. Just seeing if someone would just see if something happened. So I actually gave a subscription to Yoko Pokomo, which is the one and only mod I have right now. So I have 3 subscribers, which is the 3 out of 8. I don't... Hold on, I'm gonna check how many... What? I know what a founder badge is, because I have one for Wives channel. Not wives as in wife, I mean V-A-F... V-A-I-F-S. Wives. Wives. Which founder? But I don't know, like, how many that is. Yo, welcome, Eren, again. Glad the train thing went well. Ah, okay. So, I was, like, I know what a founder badge is, because a founder badge is literally if it says, like, 1 before your name. As you can see, for example, before you and... before Gani and Turtle Girl, there is the VIP badge. There is a 1 ST badge, which is the first, which is the founder badge. Which you will always have... Oh, sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that, Eren. Do rest up your stomach, do rest up your body. I kinda know the feeling. When I was going down here, because I'm living across country right now for studies. For some reason, my stomach was a fucking mess all the way. But yeah. So, 2 of my... Apparently there are 10 founder badges. So I have 8 founder badges left. There's not really much I care about, but it's more or less like for the people. Yes, Professor Mikotoba... Oh yeah, Professor Mikotobako. I mean, it was half a year ago, but that's why you went back to Japan. Because of the telegram you received saying it's falling ill with a very high fever for some unknown reason. So I would say like a founder badge is mostly just like a title on the stream showing you were one of the first to actually subscribe. So Miss Valkyrie has one. It's so funny because I literally told Miss Valkyrie that... Oh. I don't think you have to apologize. Like, if you feel you cannot watch something while moving in a train, which I understand, because there are sometimes not even I can do that. I don't even think it's like any need to apologizing for. Like, you have to take care of yourself. Like, that was more than understandable. Well, we're all delighted to have you back. It was quite by accident that I have been able to return to Europe, actually. It's because of a very grand conference they called the International Forensic Science Symposium. International... That's the same symposium Longstronghard mentioned. Anyway, I've arrived safe and sound. And all that matters is that I'm here now. After all, I haven't yet fulfilled my promise to you, Iris. Huh? Yeah, I'm doing fine. I can say I'm doing better. It's not like I've been bad or something today, but I'm just very often now in one of the courses I have, I just feel like this assignment we have is absolutely...
Stand by for action!
I can hear that. I don't know if you could hear that, but unfortunately, the fucking thing is doing the wrong output. Hold on. I'm gonna explain the wrong output. I'm gonna explain why I have not really been in such a good remark today. Hold on. Why do you do that? So, my output of my sound output from the screen, which is my main source of sound, the input for that is literally... Okay, that's good, because I heard it from my screen, not from my earphones, the headphones. Because my input is retracted within the screen. Because apparently I've been using it so much. So I have my screen as like VX.
Stand by for action!
Yeah, I can see that you can hear that now. But I can hear it on my screen. And I can see that it actually makes a sound. I don't know why it makes on the screen. I don't understand that. But yeah, so for some reason now, just because of that, I have my headphones directly to the computer. but that means that some things is connected to my screen sound, while some are connected to my headphone sounds. But yeah, what I'm doing roughly today is because I'm trying to do an assignment in programming in our class. And the problem is, like, the only thing we have learned, the only thing they have taught us is nothing but theories. And now we're going into, well, we have been into this programming class for like many things. Okay. So, like, the problem is, like, I don't know how to code this because we're supposed to code 3D things in DirectX 11, which has its own setups, it has its own functions and stuff like that, and I don't know how to use them. So I had a problem today. Like, I save every object file within a list of buffers. So buffers is like a container of information. So now I have an object file with 2 objects in it, which means that I have a buffer containing 2 objects, but it only knows it at one. So the question I had was like, how do you know how to put the texture on there? And the only thing I got was like, make an index buffer, let that find the faces, look for the faces in the vertex buffer, to then set the textures. And I'm sitting there like dumbfounded, because that doesn't make... Nah, that doesn't work. That doesn't work, Eren, because I have checked YouTube videos with that. It doesn't help at all. It's like, the tutorials is bullshit about that. Like, and I'm not gonna lie. So I just feel like I feel half that I'm gonna fail this class, which means I'm not gonna be able to do the next class we're gonna have after this. And I all half feels like I'm just gonna have to give up. Because I am not that good with programming. I had problems coming into this class because I couldn't handle the other programming. And now we go into programming we have never learned. And we have never been taught, because the only thing we are supposed to know is we're gonna make models in a 3D space using programs. I don't know really what, like, the only thing I can do is like ask other teachers, because that whatever I asked today did not help. Like, I'm not joking. I sat there like, what does that mean? I'm like, yeah, you just put in the faces there. Yeah, I know I have the faces, I just don't save them anywhere. I don't save the faces information, because the faces more or less tells what information each vertex has. So I just don't like tell it to be this, I just tell it, here is the vertex in this order, do that. So for him to just say, yeah, use the faces, use this. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, it's exactly what we're doing, learn it yourself. How am I supposed to know that, do that? Because the only thing they often give us is like Microsoft documents. This is how you make a thing, which is like, oh yeah, you're gonna make a buffer. Then you need a description, you need an int, unint, inform, you need something. That doesn't tell me anything, because I have never, ever in my life used that. And I will never, ever in my life use that again. Ever. So I just feel like I'm so frustrated that I just feel I have to give up, because that's the thing with schools. Schools are supposed to teach us, but I haven't learned anything from this course. We have another course in 3D animation, and we even do some programming there. I have learned more from that than, like, I've learned from any other course we've had, but not this. Because for us, it's literally do it yourself. Hope it works. But we have so many things we're gonna do. Like, I have a list here of what I need to be doing. Hold on. I'm gonna see if I can find it. Here it is. We need cube mapping. Oh. I'm gonna do that. Just so we can do that. Yeah, it's like, that's kinda in the way of sense, because when I was younger, I had problems writing things to school, because it was always like, it was not the way to do it right. So I got a very good thing from my father. Describe it like they were idiots. It's perhaps not the best way of explaining it, but it's a good way of actually doing it, because that means you explain it like they don't understand it. And I don't. I do love that even that got absolutely just... Even the kiss my part was not like that. I'm gonna accept that for right now, just because. Just because. But like, for example, I'm gonna do Q mapping. I have no idea how to do it. I just know it has to do with reflections. Shadow mapping with directional lights. I have to do more lights than one I already have, which I am just Jesus. And then just like level of details, and now what I'm doing, submeshes. That's like, I cannot do that. Like the last thing we did was to make a plain thing float around in the air with a texture. And that was simple because everything could be hard-coded. Now it's literally just like, yeah, you now know how to get out an object hard-coding it, and then do the texture hard-coding it. Let's do the rest of the shit that you don't know how to do. Okay. Yes. Thank you for not telling us how to do that. So, like, I'm getting very often pissed at this class because I haven't learned anything from this. And I'm trying my best to, like, understand everything they say. I have been in every class. Like, it feels like sometimes I've missed some class and I don't know why, because I have followed the schedule. But like, for example, the skeleton thing I've never seen. We don't need a skeleton for what we're doing right now. So I just sit there like, I'm so lost. Whenever I manage to do something, I feel like, okay, let's go on to the next thing. I just sit there like speechless. I don't know what the fuck to do. Yeah, I have, and while the teacher said make an index buffer containing the faces for each mesh, I think he said, my classmate said make an index buffer containing each vertex in the other buffer, which still doesn't really tell me much on how the hell you're supposed to be able to figure out how to make more materials or more textures. So there are times when the classmates helps, but even so, even they are doing it another way than I can, because I feel the way they do it is a more advanced way, because I'm still stuck with the old way we learned with like C++, which is like just the normal game loop, do everything in the game loop, draw that, and update it. And the problem is, like, now we're doing some shit I've never done before, and I don't understand when people just say, this is theoretically what will happen when you're done. But it doesn't explain how we're supposed to do it. It's like I said to Gani before, C++ is a language. Like English. You cannot theoretically understand English. You have to literally understand English to know what's going on with English, because it is a language. It's the same thing with coding. If you might sell it how theoretically it would work, but coding is a language, which means you cannot technically say how it should work. You need to literally say how it should work, because else it would not be able to do anything. So yeah, I don't know, I had like bloody 10-15 minutes talk about this shit, because I'm not joking. Whenever I hear shit and I don't understand it, and like the teachers can only explain the same thing over and over again and hope I understand it, I just feel like, nah. I say, okay, fine, I'm gonna take the information you gave me, I'm gonna try and understand it. But most of the time recently, especially just in this class, no other class, just this class, I just like turn off the software and go away. Like, that's the thing. I know that whenever I get pissed, whenever I get like frustrated, I cannot concentrate. And trying to concentrate like that don't help me. So I just feel, nah, I'm I'm moving away. I cannot continue with this. Either doing another class assignment or just walking away from everything. That's how I work. And I feel that's both good and bad because that doesn't allow me to continue on with the work. But it wouldn't do that anyway. So that's how it is. But yeah, there are sometimes I let out stuff on stream. Like before it used to be work, now it is just this thing. Like that's the thing even. Like there have been difficult things in class before. But I've done my best to understand him. I have like fought hard to understand him. But this, like, I cannot in any sort of hardware way say that they do it right. I cannot say it that in any way that they teach anything. So that's sort of the way I see it. For right now, it's just me fighting something I don't understand, and we're not being taught anything. But yeah, I'm on my 4th semester, and it's hell, and I'm thinking how the 5th and 6th will be. Yeah, like, for some reason, I feel like it might not be that difficult for me, but that's just because everyone says that these two is the most difficult classes we have. So from my point of perspective, when I'm done with this, I can at least get some breathing moment. But yeah, I just feel like I don't like that's the thing. I hate being a person to quit. Like I'm not joking. Like there are some things that really gets me down, and I mean like sad down, and that's the thought of me failing or me like quitting. Because I really hate to quit, especially when, like, I'm trying my best to fight. So I just feel like whenever shit like this happen, it's just like, what am I gonna do? So right now I just feel like they're not be. That's the problem also, we have 3 different teachers. I had like one question about moving the camera, didn't understand shit. Waited 2 days, got another teacher, asked him. Got a bit better. Still had a bit problem with the mathematic, but with a bit of discussion and a bit of help, and then just me trying out some stuff, it worked. So the problem is, like, it also depends on the teacher, because, yeah, as I said, I haven't learned anything right now. I've done my best, but I haven't learned absolute shit. And I'm just feeling so frustrated, like, why am I gonna have to quit just because I don't understand something they don't explain in a way all people can understand? So yeah, as I said, I really hate when very big things I have to quit, because I don't know how the rest will like. I'm a very worried person. Whenever shit goes wrong, I'm a very worried person. Like, what will happen in the future? What will happen with this? What will happen with that? Just feel like it's like the same thing before. Like I was failing programming before as well, because it was the same sort of thing. It was like a lot of theory thing. Like, okay, what is this called? What is that called? I don't remember that. I know how it works. I just don't remember what the name is called and how theoretically it works in memory. But I thought, so whenever I got to this class, I couldn't go to this class because I failed the last one. So I had to redo the test, and I think I was like 1 week late. So I studied my ass off, being able to understand what I missed. But now I just feel like, now we're here again. They don't explain how the hell it's supposed to do, and now I'm just in the whole sense of, yeah, I'm gonna fail again. Great. So yeah, it's just me whining, that's all. But also I can say this, all people is allowed to whine. Because all people are different, all people are capable of different things. I feel personally, I'm not a programmer. I can program simple things. I understand how loops work, I understand how if statement works, switches work, stuff like that. I can program perhaps a simple game. But the thing is now, like, sometimes I even have the thought why we're doing this. Because whenever you play a game, you perhaps start a game with like, this game was made in Unreal Engine 5, this game was made in Unity. we're literally just coding shit from scratch. I personally believe that none of us will ever do this again. I just feel like then if this is something we actually are gonna have to do later on, teach us better. So yeah. Well, I'm gonna try and go back to the game because it's game time. That's what the streaming is all about. That's why sometimes, even though I say that I have been in a half bad mood or something, I stream. Because that's my time to relax. That's my time of just shitting in schoolwork and just continuing this. Oh, so I kind of missed. What the fuck happened there? Yeah, I know. Like, it's all up to me. Right now, it's all up to me because I'm pretty certain I cannot just tell the teachers to teach better. Because, what I understand, teachers have a layout of how the class is supposed to be. They have prepared how the class is supposed to be, and I cannot just tell them like, yeah, you don't teach right. Do it again, because that would fuck up their system. That would fuck up the line of sight in a way. But yeah, it's all up to me. I am gonna try to talk with a teacher tomorrow and see if I actually can get real help rather than here is how it might actually work. Because yeah, this is getting annoying. I have like ugh. I just say ugh. That's all I can say. His body should have been unladed at the port of Hong Kong and passed into the care of the consulate staff there. Wait, whose body? Okay. Well, it turns out that his body never arrived. It just disappeared. What? Oh, Kazuma's body vanished. So the Kazuma's body on the steamship has just vanished somewhere. Our government tried to cover up the fact, it seems. They erected a grave on the cliffs by our hometown. Except, Kazuma-sama isn't there. Yeah, go and eat something, Aaron. Go and eat something yummy. It is always good. I'm gonna give myself a nice sandwich later. I always like to do that. I just don't have any milk, so I cannot make any chocolate milk. I kind of like to have that, but unfortunately I don't have milk. I have to buy that tomorrow. But yeah, see ya later. See ya next stream later or whenever it will be. What was this acute feeling of apprehension all of a sudden? Thinking back now, some of the things that happened on the SS Burya were definitely strange. I mean, after he died, we never saw his body again, did we? Could it be that he's actually still alive? Stop it, Mrs. Arudo. It's too much to bear. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Just thinking about the possibility pains me so very much. That would be something. Cast your mind back for a moment, Miss Naruto. When Kazuma-sama was discovered, Mr. Shoma was there, wasn't he? And he definitely examined the body. I remember it clearly. You're right. Yeah, exactly. But apparently it seems that he's actually dead. It's just like the body has been vanished. So if Kazuma-sama had actually been dead at all, it would mean that Mr. Shomes had lied to us. But there's no reason why he would possibly have done such a thing. I suppose that's true, yeah. The idea that he might be still alive somewhere. It wants to fill me with hope. But I can't let it because it has turned out to be not be true. I'll be back to the bottom of that awful pit of despair again. Oh, whatever. We're gonna see what's happening. Yeah, that would be, yeah, like, that would be awful. Like, holy crap. So I probably shouldn't push it now. Also, I'm pretty certain they moved the body as well. Wasn't there just an outline? I don't know what to do now, because the problem is that whenever I talk about shit that's going on, I lose contact with what's going on in the game. Someone's like, wait, what am I doing? I've talked about everything. Oh dear, there seems to be some thread coming loose. Just look there. I'll be only happy to mend it for you, Miss Naruto. Oh, thank you. I must have scraped against something again. I'm always doing that. Now take better care of it, please. I've been dreaming about it, you know. I was sorry that you were going to miss it when you were called back to Japan. So was I. I felt desperately unlucky. But here I am, back in London. Well, it's underway. It's a dream come true. Perhaps not as unlucky as you thought then. Once I've helped Professor Hairbrain out of this terrible situation, we should all be exploring together. And of course, we must invite the professor's good friend Lord Van Six as well. Your luck might not stretch that far. You did more than luck. What was it? Okay, I'm gonna check with Iris. Because she's just standing there. She's still dressed in outside clothing. It must be about a year ago now. I wrote a really long story based on some of my father's old notes. It's about Hurley's greatest exploits. I called it the Hound of the Baskervilles. But then Mrs. Sean forbade you to publishing it. And put the manuscript somewhere nobody could get their hands on it. So but nobody knows anything about it, apart from Hurley and I. But for some reason, you knew the title of it, didn't you, Susie? Yeah, I remember that. So how did she know about that? I'm very curious. They didn't really explain. But you wouldn't tell me how you come to know it. Yes, I made you a promise that I would explain one day, wouldn't I? Yes! Explanation! Good. Good. I'm only sorry I have kept it from you for so long, Iris. So the Hound of Baskervilles. Ooh, it's getting a bit chilly in here for some reason. Probably because the window was open and it's cold outside. It was completely by accident that I came to know the title of your manuscript, Iris. It was a short while before we left Japan. I was cleaning Father's study, and I saw something on his desk. A large book of papers. There was a label affixed to the box that was written in English. It read, "The Hound of the Baskervilles." What? My Baskerville story? Of course, I had no idea what it was at the time. My father came in and... I wasn't happy about that. I really don't like shit like that. It's just like foul play. Like, it's like whenever I mean foul play, it's not just like it's something out of his own thing, something like devious from his own mind. Like that literally stretches all the way here because it was read in English, and it's also Iris's book name, and like stuff going on, and it's like, ugh. Tell me the secret. What was Iris' manuscript doing in Japan? I have no idea. When I heard Iris mention the word Baskerville that day, the title just slipped out. Yeah, I like Katter. I like cats. I would never have guessed that it was an unpublished account of one of Mr. Sholm's exploits. When I returned to Japan, I asked father to explain, but he refused to answer any of my questions. And there was no sign of the box in his office. That's really all I know about it. I have no doubt that father has a very good reason for being so secretive about it, but still. I made up my mind to explain myself to both of you. Well, thank you for being so honest, Susie. There we go, update. So, Mr. Naruto, I'm ready to start investigating if you are. I committed every detail about the case into memory. And Iris has told me about the disturbing happenings at the Waxwork Museum as well. You're awfully abreast of the situation already, Mr. Suto. I expect nothing less, to be honest. I would think our first port of call would be investigate Mr. Dreber, the engineer responsible for building the elaborate machine that was used to effect this extraordinary trick. Yes, a conjuring of sort, with the sound of it, well known in the fields of science and magic. Then we need to go and arrest him. Well, yes. You must know the truth behind this case, huh? Holy crap. It sounds like it's a case of tracking down someone, which is a job for police, or a great detective. Are we supposed to guess who she might be thinking of? We don't have much time, so we need to get started straight away, I think. Good idea. Well, best of luck then. Oh, you're not coming today? I'm going to Brixton Road shortly for the herb market. But let me know later how you got on, won't you? That was a little abrupt. The pull off the herb market must be strong. The force is strong within the herb market. New location. Where? That's not new. That's not new. That's not new. That's not new. Okay, what the fuck is new? I'm gonna check for Holmes. Gina, she's probably working with the police. I don't know if you know that, but she's working as a constable right now or whatever. I guess she might be as Madame Tuspels. Posing as a fucking waxwork. Oh my, no wonder it's called House of Horrors. I like to turn my heels and go straight home. Via the confectionery. Wait, so you want to turn around, go home, but you want to take the route past where you buy candy? Being scared makes you crave sweets. I can understand that. I was looking forward to a reunion after 6 months anyway, but there is no sign of Mr. Sholmes anywhere. That's strange. You should be here investigating the abduction of the waxwork. Oh well, I suppose we just have to come back again later. Is he not here? Hold on. No, he's not here. I don't know who that might be. That was someone. Yeah, he's not here. Is he in here? Hold on, I'm gonna check. Ah, yes. The heavy curtain in the middle of the House of Horror. Whatever's on the other side of them, you just know it's going to be terrifying, don't you? The sign says it's a Madame Tuspel special exhibit. It seems you have to pay extra to go inside. I know. Can you believe that? Pay more money? As we haven't been scared enough already. Yeah, that's a bit. That's a bit to go, perhaps go too far. I would recommend do not use sentences like that, perhaps. I'm talking about the above, the one above. The answer is a bit sort of, but not fully as you would want to say it. Whoops. There we go. Well, I don't know where else to go right now. I don't know why, but just like the thought of the whole like school thing actually made my head a bit empty. Like, I don't know, I might just overreact a bit now and then, but that's how I react on stuff like this, unfortunately. I had no idea there were so many people in the world. I know what you mean. It really looks packed here today. It feels as though it's taken us 2 hours just to make our way through the crowds and to the point. That's it? I shut my brain down. I didn't really notice, to be honest. Gosh, I wish I had your absence of mind sometimes, Miss Naruto. Hi there. Oh, Inspector Gregson. I see you hard at work as usual. Yeah, but don't at least use the other word up there, the question you did. I would say not use that, at least not in that context, perhaps. If it perhaps in game-wise or something alike in a good context, I can allow it, but just like that, I would say do at least stray away from that path. What's with all this ceremony? We just saw each other in court this morning. I don't know. I'm not very good at actually doing. Good question. I don't know, and right now I don't really care, to be honest. Like right now, my brain is more focused on the game than when just because of what the whole day has been. I just feel like I don't want to try and figure out shit out because I don't just care. As you probably guessed, we're hoping to investigate the scene now some more. Alright, well, the young trainees do. That's the young trainees' domain. Oi, get over here, Gina. Fluffo. She seems to be busy playing with a puppy. Probably giving a traditional East End training. Yeah, don't worry. For some reason, I feel like ever since I started this school, I actually had I have worse writing. Because I feel like, though I know how to spell things, my fingers does not work any longer, being able to actually type the words. I feel like going to the school is making me worse and actually making me better than anything. Yeah, to be honest, I have learned a lot of stuff, animation and shit. It's just this specific one I really hate right now. What do you mean? Been transferred. It's time to say toodaloo to long. Oh no, really? That's a bit sudden, isn't it? I had no idea. Where are you going to be posted then? I'll come to see you if you're getting along. Not likely, but you're welcome to try. If you don't mind a trip to France, that is. France? I'll be working the Paris Police Prefecture. Should be right up my alley. But France is an entirely different country. I don't understand. Why would we be sent there? Well, that's the way the adult world works, sunshine. Now don't go poking your nose here, and it's not wanted. Yep. He's going to France. I'm intending to take the kid with me when I go. Wait, what? You're taking Gina to Paris? No, don't take her. Well, I can't live here in London. Who knows what's gonna become of her? I suppose he's worried she slipped back into slipping her hands into people's pockets and purses. I don't think he's worried about her pickpocketing, Miss Naruto. I think he's worried about the Reaper. Oh, of course. So that's playing on Inspector Gregson's mind too, is it? Anyway, I haven't mentioned any of this to Gina, so don't go babbling to her. Hear me? Oh, of course not. I gotta keep that Dave and Diva safe and sound until all this is over, at least. Van Six. That's the only Reaper in this game, more or less. Well, technically, he is the alleged Reaper, but we don't know if there is actually a Reaper whatsoever. Because most of the people he has been against has died in mysterious ways sometimes, or just died. Oi, you can call me Bloomin' Diva again? Diving Diva again? As you heard that, did you? Right, well, a question about the scene, you can put them to my cable detective Diva here. Alright, you heard, boss. Inspector Lestrade in charge here now. I suppose it's better to keep my word and not mention anything about Paris. So, Gina, you got a new dog, have you? Hell yeah. You have to take this capture, absolutely. That's fucking adorable. Isn't it great? Toby's mine. Toby! We have a Toby now. We have a Toby. If no one has actually even know anything of Sherlock Holmes lore, there is a dog called Toby. I'm pretty certain it's not this type of dog, but I don't give a damn. We have a Toby. How delightful. It's absolutely adorable. Yes, the dog does seem lovely. Ryunosuke, where exactly are you thinking of? I am questioning about whatever his thought is on right now. If it's either her, Gina, or actually the dog. And it's not the loading Inspector Gregson that's playing on my mind, to be honest. Okay, apparently her. Wouldn't surprise me, but still. You could always wonder. I just took 5. Yeah, like the goddamn Legend of Zelda thing. Click, 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 click. Fucking brilliant. Gina, we were actually hoping that that we could investigate the scene again. Yeah, all right. If it's around here, you can do what you like. That's all right, is it? I'm gonna be playing with my new friend here. Ah, yes, Toby. Hey, look, I just fucking love this picture for some reason. Oh god, the bark. The machine that exploded must be at the top of the stairs, I presume. I haven't actually seen it yet, so if you don't mind. Sorry, can you up there, Zuzi? Oh. It's like I told Oda yesterday. But I don't live near that, right? Is it cool again? A reason we ain't supposed to touch the special dispensation for scientific equipment act. Is that what we're thinking of? That's the one. That's why only them lot are allowed to investigate it. Oh. After I came home from school today, I bumped my head on like a piece of metal in my wardrobe, and apparently my head was sort of bleeding. Yeah, it can happen. I think I did the same thing once when I was finding something underneath my parents' bed. And I think it was like a wooden thing sticking out. And I think I hit my head somewhere. But because it felt very differently, I thought my head was bleeding a lot at that time. But it was just like some sort of small piece of nothing. That's the one, yeah. But the case that the special disposition has been lifted? I think so. I don't really get it, but to be truthful with you, you're still supposed to get permission from some bigwig or other, as far as I know. What was the name again? Lord Strange something? I'm not sure that's quite right, Gina. I think you mean Lord Strongheart, perhaps. Yeah, that's the one, yeah? Apparently he's always watching the time or something. So without Lord Strongheart's express permission, we can't investigate the stage. Okay. So today's trial. That was great, weren't it? I had a right laugh at a new one. It was a new one on me, that. What I like about it is when she showed me, I didn't really care. My sister was sort of freaking out how it got like that. And I showed her how, and she just laughed. Yeah, like, it's just like, it was not in a fight, it was literally just my wardrobe fighting me. You did keep an awful lot of secrets in all your previous court appearances, didn't you? Yeah, I know they made things hard for me every single time and all. Just doing my job, Gina. Watching someone else's get in the neck is a lot of fun, actually. Oh, goodness sake. That was amazing when you showed them that dodgy professor's dodgy explanation was totally fixed. The dodgy professor, as you put it, Gina, is Mr. Naruhodo's client. Yes, I'm starting to wish he wasn't, though. Mr. Boss, I feel sorry for. Sent after to do the impossible. What do you mean? You're supposed to rest at the other cove, ain't they? And in time for tomorrow's trial now. You know, the dodgy engineer? What's his name again? I might do that on Discord, perhaps. I'm not gonna do it on stream. That's the one, yeah? So the police are looking for a mysterious man with black monocle. It's putting too much on the boss, if you ask me. They say it's giving him a gut ache. I know the feeling. Don't have it now, but I know how it felt, and I feel like if I continue like this, it will be. Holy crap. I don't know why I'm just like talking more about it. I should really leave it behind for today, like fucking hell. So Scotland Yard are trying to track down Mr. Enoch Drebber. He's really funny looking. The two eyes with the don't match, so still got a glimpse of a picture of him earlier. I mean, I didn't actually pinch it or nothing. The old devil's got it. Sorry, who? You know, the Skull Reaper was always glugging down glasses of that blood red plonk. A plonk? Apparently it's not, he don't have wine, he has plonk. Ah, Lord Van Seeks. It all added on for me, that cool. Someone is always scoring about mine. Probably been pretty good boss as it goes. Should rather be the Reaper's apprentice and the detective's trainee. The way I see it, if the choice is between ship-guzzling detective and chalice-gullugging demigod, you're quite equally badly off with both. I do really love to call him demigod. They did call him demigod, right? It's not me just misreading, because I'm starting to feel my head is getting just more and more empty because of all this bullshit going on today. Yeah, he called him demigod. And if anyone tells me to rest, I'm not gonna rest, because I do this to rest. This is what I do to rest. But then there don't seem to be no clue going on, so they're stuck. There's nothing that can lead us to Drebber at all. Okay, so Toby the dog then. Where did you find a little mutt then, do you know? Oi, that is a flammy rude, though. Slightly overreaction, don't you think? He ain't no mutt, alright. That is... how do they put it? He's a pup. Oh yeah, bound for the detective. He's a pup. Sorry. I gave him a proper title and everything. It's Chief Inspector Toby to you. He says Chief Inspector. More senior than Inspector Gregson, is he? Oh. So he's a police dog, is he? The police recruit dogs now. I've heard that they're already being used officially in Germany as a part of their city policing. They're used to chasing criminals and such like. They have a wonderful sense of smell after all. I have a very good sense of smell myself as it happens. I can tell the undergarments that have been freshly laundered from undergarments. I can tell the undergarments that have been freshly laundered from undergarments that haven't. Yeah, it's more or less just take your nose deep down there and just give it a whiff. Oh, Jesus. That's nothing compared to this little fellow, though. Oh, really? According to what the boss said. Okay, I'm gonna keep this image as well. I fucking love it. I like actually holds it like just like an item or something. Like sniff out the bad guy. Well, Toby, I got a whiff of your drawers. We could chase the scent on the other side of the world. What? To the other side of the world? You mean he can swim? Well, dogs can't swim. Miss Naruto, I think you may have missed the point by rather a wide margin. I just can't believe this little dog has such an incredible skill. He can swim. I tell you, though, there's gonna be more and more dogs doing their bit of police in future. Yes, I agree. Right? One these days, they'll be barking orders at us a lot, not the other way around. Yeah. They just go alone, take this. Just sniffing up. Oh dear, sorry Dina. I don't think I agree with you, Vision, quite that much. Well, anyway, whatever you think about that, Toby is a British finest police dog. I found him down East End the other day. Someone just checked him on the street. There you go. I knew you should lift him in from somewhere. Oh Gina, you're such a kind-hearted soul, aren't you? To children and animals. Okay, so I think we're done here. We have to go and check with Lord Strongheart. Who the hell is that? I'm pretty certain it must be an apprentice of his, because I'm pretty certain the hair is like clock hands. Oh, who's that standing beside Lord Strongheart? I wonder. I've never seen her before. It's a her? I was difficult to see that at first. Oh, now I can see it on the face. Ah, the young champion of the court. You have some success this morning, I understand. And you have thrown the entire government into disarray as a result. Oh. You mean because of the Professor Harbrain's experiment? Sham science being demonstrated at London's great exhibition. The country's been made to look foolish, and now politicians are scrambling to respond. Lord Van Six is in Whitehall as we speak, given an emergency brief. Oh dear, I did not mean to cause any trouble. None of this is your responsibility. The government is entirely to blame for having been taken in. The Special Dispensation Act that prevents investigation at the scene will be annulled later today. Once that happens, my forensic investigation team will move in and deal with the scrap metal in it. It's scrap metal now, is it? Until later, Lord Strongheart. Yes, thank you. Who was that? That was Dr. Corney's Scythe, Scotland Yard's esteemed chief coroner. Scythe? Anyone else getting the whole Scythe thing? She's leading the forensic investigation team handling of this case. She was just delivering the report about the victim, in fact. Oh, I see. About Mr. Asman. Following the outcome of the trial earlier, I asked the coroner's office to evaluate its findings. I don't have time to tell you what she concluded. If you want to know, you have to ask her directly. Yeah, like that was my first thought. Like, your name is Scythe. Ayo. You can find her in the forensic laboratory. Fucking hell. Ugh. Now, what have you here to see me about? I can give you 7 minutes and 39 seconds of my time. It's not running quite so spectacularly late anymore. I can give it quickly. Can we go and check the place out? Yeah, I believe it was Scythe. Converse. What exactly is the forensic investigation team that you mentioned before? The British Empire's police force must become more exemplary in the world. For that to happen, it's imperative that we embrace forensic science and everything it has to offer. As first created the forensic investigation team a year ago. Now unofficially of course, to pave the way. Goodness, a year ago. At next month's symposium, I intend to present the result of their work to the world. Oh yeah, kinda sounds like that as well. Also, I just realized what the hell it meant. I thought it was a bit odd that it just was FIT as big things. I was like, yeah, that's actually true. That's true. Once I do that, the House of Lords will be powerless to oppose the creation of a full-scale forensic division. And once that happens, the position of Attorney General will be mine, and criminal will suffer dearly. Hey yo, what do you mean? For too long, those scoundrels have been made a mockery of our legal system, with false evidence and bribes. But London scums is about to rounded up and burned in the fires of hell. I intend to see it personally. By creating the finest police force in the world has ever known, to protect our honor and our future. Look at those eyes! It means every word. Dr. Scythe has an extremely reliable coroner. Is an extremely reliable coroner. When I've officially established a forensic division at Scotland Yard, she will run it as my right-hand woman. Now, speaking of symposium, Miss Mikotobak. Mikotobak. Yes, my lord. Your father should have been high seas as we speak, making his way here to represent the Empire of Japan. Yes, that's right. I understand he's arrived at the beginning of next month. Are you acquainted, Lord Strongheart? With Professor Mikotobak, I mean. It was many years ago now, but yes. I remember Dr. Mikotobak very well. Okay, here goes our 7 minutes. If my memory serves, it was some 15 years ago now that your father came to Britain as a visiting student. It was the year I was born. So yes, 16 years ago, in fact. Mika Tobak was a young practitioner of forensic science, and Jigoku accompanied him as a young promised judge. The punctualities and politenesses of Japanese at the time impressed us greatly. Not that I wish to imply impoliteness or carelessness on your path in any way. I didn't think that you were. Dr. Mika Tobak studied forensic science at one of London's large hospitals. Dr. Sinners, if I'm not mistaken. Sinners, okay. Dr. Scythe was also there then, as it happens. Then Dr. Scythe know my father, doesn't she? She was a young medical assistant at the time, so I doubt their paths crossed regularly. But I have no doubt that they know each other superficially. After all, Dr. Mika Tobak was here studying his subject for some 6 years in total. 6 years? That's a long time to be studying abroad, isn't it? I lived with my grandmother in those years. So he left his newly born daughter behind and went overseas for 6 whole years. That's a bit shitty. It was a rather turbulent time at home. Oh. Perhaps father wanted a reason to get away. What do you mean? Why? I'm pretty certain the mother is not alive. I'm guessing because, as she said, she stayed with the grandmother. Lord Van Six. I wanted to ask you about Lord Van Six, actually. I heard that his older brother was killed some years ago by a mass murderer known as Professor, who targeted nobles and royalties. Is that right? You Japanese are thorough lot. You've done your research well. Yes. And you could say it has a very incident that gave rise to the Reaper. But why? When his brother, Clint Van Six, was murdered, it was just after young Barak had graduated from the University of London and become a prosecutor. When obviously criminal who managed to evade conviction in court started disappearing. Rumors quickly spread through the capital. Londoners started to say whenever Barak Van Six went, that the ghost of his dead brother wasn't far behind. Oh my word. So Lord Van Six isn't the Reaper. It's the ghost of his brother. Ever since that time, he's become a very aloft figure in London's legal circles. Oh yes, Lord Strongheart. Go ahead. It's about Professor Harebrind's experimental machine. We'd like your permission to examine the remains, if possible. Are you well versed in science, then? Not in the slightest. In fact, you could say I was barely aware of the subject at all until recently. Well, the special dispensation legal preventing investigation of the machine is currently being annulled. Within a few hours, Dr. Scythe's team of forensic experts will be doing their own investigation. But I suppose until then, there is no harm in you looking at the wreckage. As long as you don't touch anything. Oh, goodness sake. Also, welcome, humble viewers, to the stream I'm holding. Sorry if I'm a bit half gone. It's been a tough day mentally. Your time is up. You have to excuse me now, I'm afraid. My next engagement calls. How many times have you been married? We're all extremely sorry to have troubled you when you are so busy, my lord. I have an important matter to attend to in preparation for the symposium. You understand. Okay, he's gone. So let's go. New location. Could you please stop doing that? Thank you. Oh, I can go here. Ooh. Well, he did say coroner, and I'm pretty certain the coroner means the person who checks the bodies. So, yeah. Welcome. I believe this is Dr. Scythe's laboratory. Chemicals smell really assaults the nose. There's plenty of assaulted eyes and to the assaulted the eyes here too. It looks like though the preferred doctor isn't here. Uh, we're here now, so we may as well do some sightseeing, don't you think? Was a seasoned tourist you become, Mr. Sato. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna check around this place, why not? So this is all, okay. Just checking what they're doing on YouTube as well. I have YouTube on in the background. A table set of sharp tools. When you consider each in installation, it looks quite innocent. So is that when you put them side by side, they seem horribly disturbing. It might be best not to ponder in too deeply. Seeing the large tome that opens on the desk does make me wonder, though. How can anyone concentrate on bookwork with this acrid odor of chemical in the air? You either have to have a cast iron constitution or a real terrible sense of smell. Or probably just roll that natural 20. That might work as well. D&D joke just because they make the whole constitution thing. Look at this big thick book here. Ah, it appears to be an accounting ledger. The records of forensic investigation team spending, I think. Oh, what is it? It's clear that the team purchases various equipment and supplies on a monthly basis, but... Well, one entry seems rather strange. Really? In what way? They're buying 500 scalpels every month. 500? They must be working really hard to dissecting corpses. I don't know. Juridical autopsies are only carried out in certain special circumstances. A scalpel's blade can be sharpened too. It does seem a bit strange. You're right. 500 scalpels a month? Huh, that's odd. That's a bit strange. Oh, update, I think. What are you doing here? Hello. Yeah, sorry, had something we wanted to ask you, but you weren't here, so... So, you thought you'd snoop around? That's acceptable to your people from the east, is it? She actually has the doctor thing on her necktie, and a snake around her arm. Well, what do you want? Lord on Strongheart told us, you see, that it was you who examined the victim's body. Mr. Asman's body, I mean. So we came to ask you about your findings, and Lord Strongheart's advice. Very well. If the Lord Chief Justice has given his consent, I'll tell you what our investigation revealed. But when we're done, you must leave immediately. Okay. Is her hair crossing? It doesn't go from like right to right, it goes from left side to right side. Okay. So, you want to know what the forensic investigation team determined from its examination of the scene. The victim, Mr. Odi Asman, who disappeared from the experimentation stage amid an explosion. and the Mr. Asman who appeared moments later, partway up the Crystal Tower, were without question one and the same person. That's the team's conclusion. But that can't be right. If it was an elaborate trick, we can only speculate about how it was carried out. Let's see. If two people who looked very similar to each other were involved, they could have made it appear as that one single person had switched place, wouldn't it? Wax figure. Very true. But sadly, this instance, that was not the case. The man who disappeared and the man who substantially reappeared was the same person. The fingerprints at the scene makes that quite evident. The fingerprints. They're not yet officially recognized as forensic evidence in the British justice system. But one day they will be used as an investigative aid, as a matter of course. Oh my. But that would mean that the instantaneous kinesis actually took place. So, where does that leave us? My team was tasked to investigating, not drawing conclusions. Instantaneous kinesis is impossible, and yet the body did move from one place to the other. This hasn't cleared anything up at all. It's made the whole thing even more of a mystery. Oh, who are you? I think it might be a woman with sense of the hair. But I don't... Ma'am, what is this? And did you just call the doctor... Mama, not ma'am. This is a lawyer, dear. Oh. Hello. To meet you? Pleased to meet you? Yes, I'm a defense lawyer. Mama. Yes. Can I cut the... No fucking hell. Cut this like, oh god, no. Okay. I was curious of who she was at first, but I kind of want to back off slowly now. Or rapidly, rather. What? I've never seen an inside of a person Eastern person before. I want to know what it looks like. Of course you can't. It's a live specimen, as you very well can see. Also, I'm pretty certain she's as pale as her mother. Boring. Ooh, okay, she's making me more and more nervous now. I just had a near-death experience. Oh dear, Miss Naruto, you're as pale as a corpse. Not as pale as she is. Then let's leave before I'm mistaken as one. I'm gonna leave. I was interested in knowing who she actually was first, just because she's hiding her face with a mask. But after all that livelihood, I am gonna not bother. Whoops, I am still here. Don't mind me. I misclicked and apparently was frozen in fear. Hi there. We are allowed to go up here, Gina, so bye-bye. Oi, that was off limit up there. It is not past me again. That is a stuffy gut full of bus fish and chips. I wouldn't mind. Just please, I love fish and chips. Yes, please. Thank you. Okay. I am gonna converse with her. Ah, there we go. Investigating the scene. Thank you for updating. Gina, we're actually hoping that we could investigate the scene again. Yeah, alright. If it's around here, you can do that. What do you like? Oh, that's alright, is it? Toby. I'm gonna play a bit. I'm playing with my new friend here. Ah yes, Toby. I just love her reaction each time he just balks. This machine that exploded must be at the top of those stairs, I presume. I haven't actually seen it yet, so if you don't mind. Sorry, I can't go up there, Susie. Oh. It's like I told Ollie yesterday. Even I ain't allowed near that Ray. What's it called again? Yeah, I know, we know. We know about this. But isn't that the case as a special? Yeah, we know about that. Hold on, I'm gonna... Yeah, we have permission. Actually, we just recently been to see Long Strongheart. Hey, you what? You met with him? Last time the boss was called to go and see him, I waited for 3 hours at the cop's office and came back with sniveling. Oh god. Well, Lord Stronger has given us permission to examine the scene, as long as we don't touch anything. Oh yeah? Honestly. I'm gonna do something in the background here for data purposes. Whoa, apparently I have my own stream here, what the fuck? Holy crap, there's some people here. Alright then, go ahead. If it turns out and you're lying, I'll be boss who gets it. I'll never eat another fish and chips again in my life. So you're still saying it's about Bori, are you? I'm sure everything will be fine. That would be tragic. Alright then. Them the stairs, up you go. Thank you. Also rather interested. They say he fell down. So what the fuck is that impact? Whoops. Clicked the wrong button. Okay. Oh my. This is so this is the machine. That was used to deceive people into thinking instantaneous kinesis had taken place. Yep, that right. Or rather, it was the machine. It's a little worse to wear at the moment. That extraordinary length Professor Harbrains went in order to obtain the research grant. No, the professor was tricked as well. He didn't know anything about it. Yes, of course, it's amazing, isn't it? The scale of the whole affair is so very British. Are you saying that British are just something? Are they rude? Oh look, is that... Oh, hello there! Lord Van Six. Well, fancy meeting you here. I'm pretty sure not even you're supposed to be up here. I think we're more or less done here, aren't we? Shall we, Mr. Sutter? Already? He is the Reaper, remember? We do well to keep our distance, I think. But we have permission to be here, from the top. We're perfectly well allowed to investigate this machine, as long as we don't touch anything. From the top? Do you mean Lord Strongheart? Exactly. So we can stay here and stare at this wreckage as long as we like. Should have been at the center of the explosion here, and it wouldn't have been bent her steel will. I guess the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna touch this thing. What a terrible explosion must have been. The funny part is still like sparkling with electricity, and I'm worried about that. Even the steel girders have buckled and twisted in the blast. And what they call the birdcage was right in the middle of all of it, just here. Also, I was wondering if this is like a false bottom kind of thing, And if you actually look at the bottom here, oh. Yeah, no problem, Turtle Girl. Like, it's no worry whatsoever if you need to be quiet on some stuff. Don't worry at all about that. Do have a wonderful evening, and I will hopefully see you on Thursday on the next stream. But look, Miss Naruto, the metal grill on the floor. It looks as though it's designed to open. Yeah, exactly what I was about to say, because it have those rails there, or whatever they're called. It does, doesn't it? If the floor had opened at the precise moment of the explosion occurred, the bird key would have dropped through and disappeared from the site. I don't think there's any doubt that this was a very elaborate hoax, is there? Okay. Yo, Van Six, have you seen us as well? Do you want to try drop me off down there? It might be actually something interesting. At least approach a man in the world, a winner 10 years in a row. Be strong, Miss Naruto. Your country and your assistant stands firm behind you. Lord Van Six? What? Well, beautiful weather we're having, isn't it? I thought I was making it quite clear that I didn't want to be disturbed. Apparently, you Nipponese are unequipped to read the signs. Oh, I read them. So, what are you doing here? Entry to this area is prohibited. Ah, well, the thing is... Lord Chief Justice Strongheart gave us permission to investigate, on the condition that we didn't disturb anything. And yet, you managed to disturb me. Okay. Never mind. State your business, then. Come to think of it, there are quite a few things I'd like to want to ask Lord Van Six about. Not least which that awful case, even though it's nothing to do with this. Ask away, Naruto, Miss Naruto. You won't know unless you try. Your brother Clint. So, Clint was the name of your older brother, I understand. Lord Van Six. You Nipponese. I always have to be on guard whenever you are around. You seem to be investigating me, have you? Oh, no, it's not like that. Well, alright, it's a bit like that. My older brother was also a prosecutor. He was the pride of the Van Six family. But tragically, a vicious killer took him from us. The professor, you mean? Something funny? That's the extent of what you've discovered, is it? I shouldn't be surprised. Sorry? There's more to it then. Lackluster work is very much your trademark, is it? You're too kind. Are you going to tar all Nipponese with the same brush next? So tell me, what's your interest in that historic incident? As it happened, Lord Van Six, there's a rather curious case that come to our attention. Are you aware that Madame Tuspel's Museum of Waxwork, by any chance? I am, naturally. I believe that that since last month, I featured in one of the displays there, for public scorn. Of course, in famous Reaper of the Baileys. Would have been exhibited, wouldn't it? Well, a particular waxwork has been stolen from the place and held for ransom. A particular waxwork, which... Wait. You mean... Yes, the professor. Mr. Sholm is investigating the case as we speak. I was unaware of that. His turn as white as a sheet. Okay, you really don't like the professor, do you? Are the police trying to locate the engineer, Mr. Dreber, already? Surely that goes without saying. We're very keen to see him found as well. The trouble is, we don't have much to go on aside from the description of the man we heard in court earlier. Which, according to Professor Harebrain, was a tall, thin gentleman who has straight white hair and wears black monocle. So, I was just wondering, I mean, I realize it's probably not possible, but yeah. We very much appreciate any more clues you can give us. Wow, Susato-san really knows how to take the bull by the horns. Fine, why not? I have a photograph of the man here from the investigation 10 years ago. I don't think I've seen him before. I believe. Although it appears he has already that black monocle at the time. What? Oh, no, nothing. I was surprised that you shared this with us. I shared that with us. We all need the man's testimony in court tomorrow. Which means we have to do everything we possibly can to track him down in the short time available. So why wouldn't I show you the photograph? That is about Lord Van Six. Sometimes just can't work him out at all. Great, we got that at least. Oh, hello there. The file I requested for the trial tomorrow. Thank you. Oh yeah, you haven't met him before. Mysterious guy, person, meet Susato, Susato, meet Hoodoo Man. Are you alright? Who is that man, Miss Naruto? Lord Van Six's apprentice, apparently. So I'm not the only one. Susato-san can see too. Lord Van Six, may we speak with your apprentice for a moment? With him? Why? Wait, you want to speak with us? No, you went away. What? Wait, what? You cannot be fucking serious. It cannot be him, right? But it did actually it did actually turn around. So it did actually react on the fucking name. I don't believe it. Your posture, your presence. It can only be it. It's you, isn't it, Kazuma-sama? I felt something strange there very first time I encountered this cloaked figure. As if I knew him somehow. Can it really be you? Whoa, wait. Eyes off. What is going on here? You're not gonna believe it, but you who don't like Nipponese people have a Nipponese just in front of you. You have a rat amongst the midst. What is your interest in my apprentice exactly? You act as if you know the man or something. Well, so when has he been in your care? I don't recall you having an apprentice before I left Britain 6 months ago. Lord Strongheart introduced me to him 3 months ago, with instruction to monitor him as a prosecutor. But he didn't tell you why, did he? The man appears to be suffering from amnesia. He's forgotten every last detail about himself. It wouldn't surprise me because I'm pretty certain that Kazuma got hit in the back of the head in that case. But I believe he was meant to do something significant here that he was about to tell us as well, but he never handled it. Tomorrow he will be appear in court at my side. What? He's to serve as a juridical assistant on Lon Stronghold's orders. Well, in court with us. No, unless I'm much mistaken. I believe this conversation is rather cool. Oh, yeah, thank you. I definitely saw a reaction there. When Susato-san called out like that, it really seemed to hit a nerve. When she called out Kazuma-sama. Okay. Well, thank you. I guess we're done here. Anything I need to present? I don't think so. I'm gonna move away. Thank you so much for your help. That was strange, but okay. Let's go and see if I can actually find Sholmes this time. Speaking of, how much I've been streaming? Oh, look at that. It's actually 2 o'clock. It's actually perfect timing. So we have 2 people here, so I might actually do a raid. If it goes down to 1, I